Now, maybe you didn't know this is National Fishing Week, and this year's theme is Take the Family Fishing. Roy Ackland was happy to volunteer for this story, and he took along his daughter, Jennifer.
I want to go fishing now. What do I need?
Well, if you do bass fishing, you're going to need a couple items. You can use a buzz bait or a spinner bait, which is something for that. Or you can use it to fish her down deep. You can go with a DB3 Magnum.
I just want to take my kid fishing.
All you need is a cane pole, a box of worms, and maybe a real filler.
I'll take it. Hey, Rocky, where'd you catch that fish?
Oh, right about right here.
Thanks, Rocky. Put him on the hook. Let's try for a little bit longer. We're gonna have to go home. Hold it. You see the fishy pulling on it? Do you? Can you see the fishy pulling? Just hold your balls.
Come on, Daddy!
Atta girl. All right. All right. Come on.
Daddy, get it!
You hold the cork now. Hold the cork up, right there. What do you think of that fish? You don't know? You like to go fishing? Yeah.
We pay Roy for hard work like that, by the way.
Yes, isn't that terrible?
Excuse me, Mr. Woolly Worm? My name's Roy Ackland. I'm doing research for WGHP Piedmont's Frank Deal. He's the weatherman, you know. Pardon me? You don't like being called a woolly worm. Worms are long and slimy. You are a woolly bear caterpillar, is that correct? Yes, sir, Mr. Woolly Bear Caterpillar, sir. What was that? Just call you Woolly. Well, okay, Woolly. Listen, Woolly, is it true that you can predict the winter weather? It says here that your black and brown bands, when viewed from head to tail, can foretell winter's severity from beginning to end. Say, Woolly, can I get sort of personal? Which is your beginning and which is your end? Oh, that's your beginning. Well, thanks. Now, if you will allow me, let's see. A medium black band followed by a long brown band and then a little tiny black band at the end. Now, theoretically, this should mean a pretty good start to winter, then a long, mild period, and then a little tiny last blast at the very end. Mr. Woolly Bear, does that meet with your approval? What do you mean my guess is as good as yours? Well, so much for scientific theory. Roy Ackland, the Piedmont News.
Taxi on the best, Airport Express.
Downtown High Point during Furniture Market, a cab driver's paradise.
We put in pretty long hours here. It's just, especially during the market time. The money's out there, so it's time to get it. So I'm out here to get it.
Long hours indeed. We talked to him at noon on Friday, but John has been at work since 6 o'clock Thursday afternoon.
I don't have to punch a time clock. Yeah. I like that. There's no one standing over my shoulder. Yeah. That's why I like driving a cab. 1 minute I'm in High Point, next minute I'm in Greensboro, Lexington, all over. The market people are people who have large expense accounts. They don't have to worry about... Well, they give big tips, but the tips not money that's coming out of their pockets. I meet people from all over the country, and I try to learn something from everybody that I meet.
And that might even be a new song.
Do you sing, Howard? Sure. All right, you know this one? Fly me to the moon and let me play amongst the stars. Let me see what spring is like on Jupiter and Mars. In other words, hold my hand. In other words, darling, kiss me. Are you two for real?
It's not very often you get a cab ride for a song. Well, the next time you call a taxi cab, you might not get a singing cab driver like John is, but still, it could be quite an adventure. Please remember, have mercy on your cab driver. He might have been on duty all night long. I'm Roy Ackland, the Piedmont News. Thank you, and welcome to National Talk Show Host Day. Coincidentally coincides, would you bring that a little closer? I can't read that thing. Which coincidentally coincides with the patron saint of show hosts, Johnny Carson's birthday. Today on our show, we have such greats as Will Shriner, Oprah Winfrey, Geraldo Rivera, and High Point's very own Max Meeks.
Good morning to you, neighbor.
A couple announcements.
Fine, Mel. We got about 40 seconds. Can you get them in?
All right, I got a yard sale at 2608 Wexford Court.
It's called Tell Your Neighbor. And the whole theme of it is people who need something, who are looking for something. And I remember several. One, a gentleman called up, and he had sweaty feet, and wanted to know, what cures sweaty feet.
But sweaty feet are not the only reason people call Max. Many people just want someone else to talk to.
People are lonely. And I think on our Tell Your Neighbor show, this is an opportunity for a lot of people who are at home, who possibly don't have anyone to talk to. It's an opportunity for them to call up and hear a voice and converse and bring up a question and bring up a thought and have an opportunity to be with people.
So thank you, Max and Oprah and Will and Geraldo, for being more than just radio and TV personalities, but for being a part of our lives.
Well, that sort of takes up our time. We've enjoyed it and enjoyed having Roy from Channel 8 drop by to visit with us this morning. This is National Talk Show Host Day. How about that?
Roy Ackland, the Piedmont News. The deer population in and around Guilford County is growing. That sounds like a good thing, but is it? The people population is growing too, and therein lies the conflict.
As the habitat is converted from a natural area into sites for homes and shopping centers and 1,000-acre developments, this kind of thing, those deer are already there in a lot of the cases and probably are going to stay there. So one of our concerns is that these animals are going to start crashing through windows and meeting vehicles on the highway.
Not too long ago, you had to come somewhere like the Nature Science Center here in Greensboro to even get a glimpse of a deer. Nowadays, you might be able to see one right in your own backyard. Bambi in the backyard might sound attractive, but it really isn't. A deer can do a lot of damage to flower beds and gardens, plus will be a hazard to highway navigation. So the bottom line is this. If we're going to have good controlled growth, and we've got it, we have to provide habitat for our deer as well as habitat for people. In Guilford County, I'm Roy Ackland, WGHP Piedmont News.
1946.
Debbie Rhyne is a collector of Coca-Cola memorabilia, and after collecting for over 6 years, her bedroom looks like the lair of a true Cokeologist.
People, friends that come up in my room, it's like, God, you don't collect anything, do you? Like, why do you collect Coca-Cola things?
Even Debbie isn't really quite sure how it all began. It just sort of happened.
I started collecting Coca-Cola cans. Yeah, I'd drink a Coke and then clean out the can and keep those.
And from this humble beginning, the collection has grown to over 700 items.
This one's from Norway.
Norway?
Mm-hmm. Huh. This is Ruteflaske, the round bottle.
Yeah. The collection grew so much that recently a group of European journalists discovered her and were so impressed they made Debbie the centerfold of an internationally circulated magazine. Now Debbie can add this photo to her collection as it appears in the January edition of National Geographic magazine. This volume's a collector's item, too. It's the Centennial edition, so Debbie can be doubly proud. Roy Ackland, WGHP Piedmont News.